Hi folks, Lily here with Spoons Across America, and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to be discussing how to use the Food Exploration Project Homeschooling with your child. When you sign up for the Food Exploration Project, you'll receive a box with a few items. You'll get a Kids Food Explorer's Journal, Parents Curriculum Guide, a Spoons Across America apron for your child to wear while they cook, and a Kids Chef's Knife. The Food Exploration Project is designed to help your child become a more curious and inquisitive eater. Together, you're going to develop basic cooking skills while also learning about a variety of food-related topics. Throughout the program, we use the language of food explorers to help your child see trying new foods as a fun adventure that uses all of their senses. Together, you're going to embark on a fun food journey and get to learn about a whole lot of things such as where food comes from, seasonal and local eating, healthy snacking and eating, and much more. Before you begin the lessons, I recommend getting your cooking space all set up, having a nice clean counter or table to cook at. You also need a few materials. Basic cooking equipment such as measuring spoons and cups, a cutting board, bowls of different sizes, mixing spoon, a knife. You could use the kids' knife that comes with the set, or a small kitchen knife. Just supervise your child if they're using a sharp one. I also recommend having a towel nearby to clean up any messes. You're also going to need some ingredients. Most of the food ingredients that are in these recipes are basic things that you can find at your grocery store. Fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and so on. Once your materials are all ready, you're ready to dive into the lessons. Before you begin, I recommend reading the Parents Curriculum Guide Introduction. This gives you some information about teaching and setting up these lessons with your child. Once you review this, you can go ahead and dive into the lessons. All of the lessons are going to have the same basic structure. They include a session overview, an introduction, materials, an activity, an ingredient exploration and tasting, preparing the recipe, eating together, and a conclusion and reflection. Once you've learned the basic layout of the sessions, you'll be flying through them in no time. Each session takes about 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how quickly you move through it. If you flip to, say, session 2, the basic layout of the session is going to start out with a session overview. It says basic background information. Next, it will tell you the materials that you need, such as measuring spoons or cups, whatever you need to prepare that recipe. Then you have the introduction. This will give you some more information and a little bit of background about whatever you're learning that day, what you're preparing, the ingredients or the topic, and so on. After the introduction, there'll be an activity. This might be a new kitchen skill, maybe learning how to read a label, something really useful for your child to learn. After the activity, you're going to have the ingredient exploration. The ingredient exploration is maybe my favorite part of cooking. The ingredient exploration gives you a chance to try each ingredient one at a time before you prepare the entire recipe. That way, your child can get a chance to taste and try things on their own before you cook with them. Once you finish your ingredient exploration, it's time to prepare the recipe. All of the recipes can be found in the Parents Curriculum Guide as well as in the Kids Food Explorer Journal, so you can follow along with either. Once you prepare the recipe, it's time to eat together. Eating together is a super important step of all of the food sessions. It gives you a chance to talk about what you prepared. You can ask your child, how does it taste? What flavors do you notice? How does it feel in your mouth? What do you smell? What was challenging? What was fun about this recipe? It gives you a really wonderful chance to talk about what you're trying and tasting away from the distractions of screens and other things that might prevent you from having a conversation. After you eat together, you want to make sure to clean up and get the kids to help you with that. And then it's time for the final step of the session, the conclusion and reflection. For this step, you're going to use the Kids Food Explorer's Journal. In the journal, there's different activities, charts to fill in, drawing prompts, writing prompts, things to help your child think just a little bit deeper about the activity for the day. After you finish, you're all done with the session. A few teaching tips for these sessions. I recommend reading them start to finish before you begin so you know what to expect. You also want to make sure that you have all of your materials all set up. Modeling different behaviors and activity steps, it's a great way to get your kid involved. When you're tasting, taste with them. When you're trying the foods and the prepared recipe, try with them. That way they can see that it's a fun thing that you can do together and that you're gonna try things just like they are. You can also adapt the lessons if your kids are younger or older. Maybe for littler kids, you chop things ahead of time so they just need to add them to the bowl for the recipe. Older kids might be able to do more things on their own. If your child has an allergy, maybe one of the ingredients in a recipe doesn't work for them, you can go ahead and substitute it out for something that does. You want to make these recipes work for you. To take these activities a little bit further, we have some subject buttons in each of the activities. Things like reading, math, writing, art. This helps you to know how these activities tie in with the basic subjects that your child is learning in school. There's also some teacher extensions at the back of the parent's curriculum guide to help take these lessons a little bit further. For other resources, you can visit the Spoons Across America website at spoonsacrossamerica.org for more information and resources. All of these activities are going to be a really fun chance for you and your child to learn about cooking, food, tasting, trying, and more. They'll give your child and you a chance to get in the kitchen together and to learn a whole lot of new activities and skills. From one former homeschooler to another family of homeschoolers, I know how exciting and fun it is to have new things to try in the kitchen together. I hope you enjoy the food exploration project, and hopefully your child will learn a few things along the way. It might be slow at first, they may be hesitant to try new things or to do a certain type of activity. Take it slow and make it work for you, and eventually you'll be flying through them in no time. Until next time, thank you for joining me here in my kitchen.